Hi, and a big welcome to you all to Cricket Fan Zone podcast. This is Aditya here, and today is KL Rahul's birthday. We wish him many more happy returns of the day and great years ahead for his IPL and international career. So, today's topic we are going to discuss about the birthday boy, KL Rahul, his young career of 6 years, what he has done and how it has panned out, and what holds for his uh, future. So, if we look at KL Rahul's career, he made his international debut in 2014. It was not an easy international debut for him. He came into the team to play against the mighty Australians in their own backyard. It was not a nice start. It was not an easy start, as I said. Playing in Australia against Australia is really tough, not just to face their pace attack or the bouncy tracks. It is so hot and humid, as well as they play hard cricket, and under the leadership of Michael Clark, with Brad Haddin, Mitchell Johnson, and all the others standing in, forward short leg and everything, they will be in your ears all the time. I think KL Rahul has given a press conference, or somewhere he has said he spoke to MS to say Haddon has been in his ears all the time, and should he respond, or what is that he should do. And MS was in his own subtle way to say, you can speak to him, you can give him something back, but be prepared for this entire series that he is going to be he's going to give you back double the time if you tell him something. So that's how Australia were playing their cricket that time. But beating all the odds, KL came out and he scored a scintillating century of 110. That made the entire world turn their eyes towards this talent. He was a 22-year-old boy. For him to do that, it was a great achievement. He also gave a beautiful option for the Indian team, because we had Murli Vijay as one of our set openers then. He was very good. But Shikhar Dhawan couldn't live up to the expectation in the away leg we had that time. So we were searching for an opener, and KL came in as the bright spot. He also had the game, no doubt about it, but that was not his best series. Even though he had a good 100, he played 4 innings combined. Except for that 100, in the rest of the 3 innings, he flattered to deceive. And moving forward into 2015 and till the first half of 2016 at least, he was not utilized totally in Test cricket. Shikhar Dhawan came back, I believe, into the home leg. So few games were played by Shikhar Dhawan, few by KL Rahul. KL Rahul did not contribute scoring huge runs. He was able to chip in with a couple of 50 odd runs or something like that, but not big hundreds. Nothing eye-catchy happened at that phase. But he got an opportunity during the second half of the England series. England toured India in 2016. In that, he got an opportunity in the last 2 test matches. He went on to score a fantastic 199. The same game where Karun Nair made his triple 100. So that 199 of KL Rahul showed a different version of him. He was not the same KL Rahul we saw in 2014. His game evolved. By 2015-16, he made a lot of alterations to his game to suit his game to the pace of to map with the pace of T20 cricket. Those changes he made during the IPL phase, I believe, that gave more opportunities for him to score quick in the shortest format, right? But that had an impact in the way in which he started to approach the game. Even in Test cricket, he started to show different ways to score runs. He had more shots on offer. Still, he was classy, so it was eye catching. But the 2014 KL Rahul was more of a old school test player. He was, you know, he was he had a lot of grit and determination, and he could go into a shell and weather the storm. That is how his technique looked, but it changed a lot in 2016. But coming back to the innings where he scored 199, it showed a lot of promise. And Virat and team management rightly noted it down. Uh, they ensured that this performance is not overlooked, and he got a big break when we moved into the next big assignment, which is the Australian series. Australia came to India in 2017 or 16, in 17 somewhere. That series was expected to be a tightly contested series for several reasons. One, they were washed out when they came to Indian soil in 2013-14, so they were determined to prove their doubters wrong, because after that, from 2013 to 2017, they had a very poor run generally in Asia. They also lost in Sri Lanka 3-0, and also they lost in Abu Dhabi, the UAE leg where they play against Pakistan, I believe. So they had a lot to prove. They had huge amount of preparation. They had preparation camps set up, and they made even artificial spin tracks to help their batsmen and help their bowler do a lot of improvement. By the time they came to India, they were very determined to prove a point. So, and they had a very good bowling attack. Mitchell Stark was good in Asian conditions. Pat Cummins was coming strongly back into international setup. Josh Hazelwood was always a decent bowler, and Nathan Lyon was a different animal from 2013. This guy has improved so much. And Stephen O'Keefe, considering the spin tracks on offer in India, was always going to be handy. And as it turned out, their attack seemed to be brilliant, not just on paper. They were fantastic. When they came into the Pune test, they just swiped India away, and it was one of the biggest losses India had ever faced. And the first loss in so many years for Indian team in home soil. Throughout the series, they were a tough opponent to face. Murli Vijay couldn't score much amount of runs. Virat Kohli, had a very bad series in home soil, which rarely happens. Ajinkya Rahane, except for an innings or so, was not to be seen. It was just Cheteshwar Pujara who showed a lot of grit and determination to score runs. And the next one was KL Rahul. He scored almost close to 400 runs, and every time he stepped in, I think he came out with scoring a minimum of 50 runs. He had 6, 7 or 8 innings on a trot where he scored consecutive 50s in that series. I mean, which is a remarkable achievement considering the way in which the rest of the Indian batsmen struggled. He did a fantastic job. Everyone did look into it. It was not overlooked again. Everyone understood what KL Rahul could offer. He was a permanent member of the team having done that, right? But the one problem he had was he couldn't convert the 50s into big hundreds. That is where I felt he lacked some kind of concentration. His game became a little loose after he scored those 60-70 runs. He also admitted that, but throughout the series he couldn't change that particular scenario to go on to score a big one. But away from that, he had a fantastic series there. And after that 2017 series, as I said, he almost became a permanent member of the test squad. There were a couple of series against Sri Lanka and West Indies. He was alright, he was not at his best, but still he was scoring decent amount of runs. But his biggest assignment was the away leg, 2018-2019. So it started off in South Africa, 3-test series. He was abysmal. He just didn't know what to do. He looked as if he had no proper technique to counter the pace, the seam, the swing that was on offer. He had a very hard series. His average was not even more than 11, combining all 3 games. So it was one of his lowest point of his career at that point of time. Having not done well there, he was expected to turn things around when we went to England. But England series also happened to be a very tough series for all the openers who played in that series. None of them were able to score with an average more than 20-25, if I'm right. And this guy had a horrible series till the last game where he scored a big 100 with Rishabh Pant. Except for that, he had a torrid series. He just did not have the technique. He just did not have the temperament, and his head was falling away. His feet barely moved. He was getting out to deliveries that were coming in. He was getting out to deliveries that were bowled at fourth and fifth stump channel. He almost became a meme material where everyone was saying KL Rahul is finding new ways to get out. That's how bad this game turned out to be in Test cricket. With England series having gone bad to us, he was expected to be given a last opportunity in the Australian series, where the tracks are not going to swing and seam, but it's going to have some pace and bounce. So KL was expected to do good. But in Australia, again, he had a very bad series. Eventually, he was dropped during the middle of the series to be replaced by a not so specialist opener in Bihari. In fact, that is how bad his game went in Test cricket. So that actually was his end in Test cricket till date. He was never given another opportunity to come back because it is understandable that his game was not up to the mark, and he was not the same KL Rahul who played the game during 2016-2017 home season. Maybe it was similar to the way Shikhar Dhawan was with respect to the red ball cricket. He was fantastic whenever we played in home conditions, but the moment he stepped out in away conditions, he looked not even half the player he was. Same applies to KL Rahul. There is no hiding. There is no hiding here. He looked lesser than half the player he was in home conditions, and he was rightly dropped. So it was a bumpy ride for him in Test cricket. It never took off. It was always good, but not fantastic. Then it went from being good to being worse, right? But having said that, I feel he has a lot of time left in him. He could make a comeback, but the road won't be easy. It is going to be a real tough road for him to get back into the team, having got enough opportunities. So let's look at his white ball career. In the one-day format, I strongly believed he had the potential. He still has the potential, but it's not his fault. The team management and the leadership group handled him very poorly. He didn't deserve this treatment. He had all the shots in his arsenal. He had everything within him to go on and be the third opener for this Indian team. This is not me saying that he should have overthrown Shikhar Dhawan or Rohit Sharma. No, that's not even the case. We had an opportunity to slot in a third opener, and this guy showed huge amount of potential. But this is where our team management lacked proper clarity. For every bilateral series we went in, whenever we played even lesser teams, Sri Lanka was not at their best, West Indies were not at their best. There were a lot of such series which did not have any context to play. Still, Shikhar Dhawan and Rohit Sharma went ahead and played those series. It was only Virat Kohli who was given a rest because Virat was playing all three formats. Shikhar Dhawan and Rohit Sharma were not even part of the test team. So time and again it was said that they have to play all the limited overs tournaments, even though those series does not hold any value. This was one of the worst decisions they have ever taken. If you keep playing them, then when are you going to find the third opener, which we do want when you go into a big knockout tournament? So KL Rahul showed potential. He had the talent, but was never treated the right way. Whenever he had to be brought into the team, Virat was rested and he was made to play as a number 3, number 4. In 2017-18, I'm sure KL Rahul was not prepared for that. So he never was used in his favorable position, which is the opening slot. If they had given him the right chances, I'm sure he would have become a very good third choice opener. Who knows, if anyone of Rohit Sharma or Shikhar Dhawan were injured, like the way in which Shikhar Dhawan got injured during the World Cup, or they had a blip in form, this guy could have stepped up. He could have proven a point. Maybe he would have helped us in a very different way. He could have been the plan B option against a particular team, against a particular attack. If Shikhar Dhawan Rohit Sharma pair was susceptible, this guy could have come in and played the part. In World Cup, it could have helped. But ultimately, we didn't do that. And again, KL Rahul's career never took off as a one-day player. He was in, he was out, he was played at number 3. Suddenly, he was played as an opener for just one series, and then he became a number 4. He was never given a proper role. Right message was never sent to KL Rahul. That is one of the biggest regrets I have towards the team management, because he could have been utilized in a far better way as a third choice opener. So I wouldn't look into his one-day career too much for now, but the last 1 year or so, he has got the right spot. I'm not saying about his batting position. He has got the right spot in the team. He's been now considered as a valuable player. Even during the World Cup, he did come in and he did prove a point with limited opportunities. He was able to do a better job as a number 4 than anyone who we gave the opportunity in the last 4-5 years. This guy was able to do a better job in World Cup, and when he was called upon to open with Rohit Sharma due to Shikhar Dhawan's injury, he did an alright job there. So that showed this guy is versatile. He's able to adopt, he's able to evolve. With a matured mindset, he's able to handle different circumstances. Finally, it looks like KL Rahul gained the faith of the team management, which they should have looked at long time back. And now he has taken over the role of Rishabh Pant. I'm very speculative. I'm very skeptical about it, to be precise. Whether he could be a wicketkeeper playing at number 5, I'm not very sure. On a longer run, he hasn't done that for a state team continuously for years. He was never a primary wicketkeeper. He was always the second choice who could come in and do the job. So whether he will be able to do that on a longer run is a big question mark. But the good sign is he is now an integral part of the one-day unit. That should make him feel a lot good about himself and about his career. And let's hope a lot of good things happens to him in one-day format. Now, the last format we are going to look at and see how his career has panned out for is T20 cricket. This guy has been phenomenal right from the word go when he came into the international setup as a T20 player. Whenever he got opportunities, in fact, he has played 42 games in T20 cricket, which is the highest number of games for him across the formats. He has played 32 odd one-day games, lesser than that in Test cricket, but 42 is the maximum that is in T20. So he has been trusted more in T20. Still, I would say he wasn't given enough opportunities, but whenever he has got, there were no excuses. He got opportunity as a number 4, he scored a brilliant century. He got opportunity as a number 3, he was able to go and score on a big century. And as an opener, whenever he has come in, he has given us swift starts. If you look at his career average, it is 45 in international T20 format, and his strike rate is above 140. I don't believe anyone from Indian team does possess such kind of stats. And these numbers are not numbers measured against associate nations. These games are played against bigger nations in bilateral series. So he has proved a point in T20 cricket. And now with Shikhar Dhawan injured or whatever that might be the case, he has gained the number 1 spot to be the opener. If you look at the stats between Shikhar Dhawan and KL Rahul, you can write off Shikhar Dhawan to say that there is no way this guy is going to top KL Rahul. And if many of us know that Shikhar Dhawan is not a T20 player, there is no agenda against him, but he is such a slow starter, and he, even after a slow start, he never could make use of that to score big runs at a better pace, right? Rohit does that. He starts slow, but he goes on to score bigger runs. As I said, both Rohit and Shikhar are going to be slow starters. We can't afford to do that. The first 6 overs are so precious in T20 cricket. We need someone who can go in and start swiftly to score at a better pace. KL Rahul has proved that in IPL, and he has proved that time and again whenever he has been given an opportunity in international cricket. So, to me, he is the number one T20 opener for us. He needs to be trusted to do that job where he has been doing fantastically well for us now. Virat just needs to open his eyes and say, I look at the stats, I look at the gameplay, and this guy, KL Rahul, is my first choice. There is no way I'm going to look at anyone and say they are going to be pushed ahead to drop KL Rahul to any other spot in T20 cricket. So he's been phenomenal, and not just the stats and numbers of his career, his ranking shows that he's number two. He's number 2 in T20 cricket ranking. If this T20 World Cup 2020 by some means is going to go as per schedule, I would hate to see KL Rahul not as an opener. Number 2 in world cricket. This is not supposed to be taken lightly. So he has to be given that role. He has to be given that opportunity. He deserved it. He has earned it. His T20 career has been a success, no doubt, but more opportunities should have been given to him. He could have been even a bigger success. That is the way I see it, and that is the way, at least for T20 cricket, every one of you can see KL Rahul as a big player, right? Having said that, we have come to the tail end of this podcast. So, to put it in a nutshell, if we have to say about KL Rahul's career, his 6 years in international cricket has been a bumpy road. He was not trusted enough. He lost his way in Test cricket. He has gained a lot of faith in one-day cricket, and he has always been phenomenal in T20. And it looks like he is now trusted as a white ball player for Indian team, and I certainly hope he can improve upon that and be maybe not the next Virat Kohli. We need not need a next Virat Kohli, but be the first KL Rahul to be called, hey, you should be like KL Rahul, you should be compared with KL Rahul. So let's hope he can achieve that big a stardom and contribute to the winning cause of the team. I believe this guy has got it in him to do that in white ball cricket. Having said that, the message should be given by the team management, selectors, and leadership group to KL Rahul to say that you are now looked at as a white ball player. We are not crubbing your red ball opportunities. We are not saying you can't play red ball cricket, but the road to be back to the team is going to be long, and you are so precious for us in white ball cricket. We don't want you to do any alteration in your game to adapt yourself to red ball cricket. By doing so, we don't want to lose you for white ball cricket for another 2, 3, 4 years, because it's going to be a huge phase for Indian cricket with 2 T20 World Cups and another 50-over World Cup coming in 2023. This is the right time to build KL Rahul towards all those big tournaments. So red ball cricket can take a back seat, but the team management should provide this message in a very clear manner to KL Rahul. He can go on to try to improve his temperament, improve his game a little bit by going to a county season, half county season or something if he gets the time. If not, he need not be instructed to do anything to get back into red ball cricket. Nothing should jeopardize his form and consistency in white ball cricket, which he has now. I believe the team management has not been doing the right job by giving the right message to our players for the last 5-6 years. It has happened with Ajinkya Rahane, it has happened with Shikhar Dhawan, it has also happened in some level with Ambati Rayudu. They have been a mess. I don't think they are doing their job all right. They are not helping the players, but that's a big topic of discussion we need to have, and it should be stored for a whole different day. we have a lot of points to discuss on that, right? And yeah, having said that, we have come to end of this podcast. I really hope you all enjoyed uh, the podcast today and enjoyed what we thought about KL Rahul and how we dissected his international career. Before we sign off, want to wish KL Rahul once again a very happy birthday, and a fantastic career is ahead of him for sure. Let us all hope he is treated right and he stays in a good frame of mind to uh, achieve the extraordinary heights which he is destined to achieve. So till we see next time, this is Aditya signing off. Bye bye. Take care.